But did you bring some birdie bogey with you?
Oh, yes. I should probably get that out.
Probably should, and I'll keep listening to this fantastic intro music.
It's kind of rare for you to remember and me to forget because it's usually vice versa.
Yes.
Since you run this podcast like a dictatorship and told me to get a Masters question ready for this week, funny. I got two of them for you. The first question, who has finished runner-up at the Masters the most times without winning it?
Okay.
And the second one is, who won the first Masters?
Ooh.
Yeah.
I think I got a better chance of getting the first one right than the second one. But
the J-Man has never heard of either of these golfers, so it's all up to you.
All right.
I have no hints for you.
I like the challenge.
Yeah.
I like the challenge, but we got a bunch of Masters talk coming up. Especially, I'm a big golfer, big golf fan. For golf fans, it's if you don't get chills around Masters week, there's something wrong with you. You're not breathing. But even for a non-golfer, kind of like yourself, I know you kind of enjoy watching Masters a little bit. So got plenty of Masters talk. We got some baseball talk. You know, baseball's underway. It's a weekend now, close to a weekend, but college basketball's over.
Mercifully,
another Philly team brings the title home. Is this the year of Philadelphia sports?
It's been pretty dang good. I don't think the Sixers can do it, and the Phillies definitely won't be able to.
Making the playoffs is good enough for the Sixers. First time since 2012. If the Phillies make the playoffs, that'd be pretty good. So
it is the year of Philadelphia.
I don't know how the Flyers are doing.
Or the Philadelphia Soul.
Or the Soul.
They still have an arena team.
I think they do. I think they're
still owned by Bon Jovi.
Not sure about that. Or Ron Jaworski.
The whole Final Four kind of sucked.
Games
weren't very good.
No, and I got to admit, I didn't watch too much of the Michigan-Loyola game.
I watched very little.
I watched the whole Villanova-Kansas, and then I didn't even watch all of the national championship last night. I watched a good portion of it, but I didn't watch the whole thing.
Villanova was on another level.
The whole tournament.
Really, this whole tournament, they just wiped the floor with everyone. I mean, they had a little bit of a scare against West Virginia. I think West Virginia was up like 6 or 7 with maybe 8 minutes left, and they turned it on. But Villanova was the best team all season, best team in the tournament, and the best team won the national championship. That doesn't happen a lot.
They had a little bit of a scare against Texas Tech to an Elite Eight for a little while.
Early, maybe.
Yeah. I know it was like a 8-point game with like 3 minutes left or something, but they won every game by double digits.
It's impressive.
They just shot the ball so well. They had contributions from about everybody. I mean, they just played team-style basketball.
Yeah.
I remember thinking they'd have a tough time in round 2 against Alabama or Virginia Tech.
They're really well coached.
But they didn't have trouble. Big Ten finds itself with yet another runner-up. They just can't get that championship or the championship hump.
7 since 2000. 0-7 in the national championship.
I didn't realize that was Michigan's 5th Final Four since 1980.
Wow.
Yeah. They're lost success.
Yeah, that was their second in 5 years.
Yeah. 2013. But, I still think Michigan will be pretty good next year. You got to think they'll lose Mo Wagner. And really the Big Ten have lost some people through this past week through the pros. Michigan State's lost Miles Bridges and Jaren Jackson Jr., both signed with agents. Keita Bates-Diop, Ohio State signed with an agent. Tony Carr, Penn State signed with an agent. Maryland,
Justin Jackson
signed with an agent. Rutgers, Corey Sanders signed with an agent. Dumbest move I thought of them all.
Yeah, I don't know why he'd forego his senior year.
They're definitely going to be in the basement of the Big Ten again. But,
Ethan Happ today put his name in but did not sign with an agent, so I assume he'll be back.
You would think if he'd be back, they're probably a top 20 team, but if he doesn't return, then that affects them big time.
Yeah.
I mean, Carson Edwards has his name in, but he didn't sign up with an agent. Got to think he'd be back, or at least Purdue standpoint, really hope so.
Yeah.
But going back to Villanova, I'm kind of off topic there. Can we call them a blue blood now that they've won 2 of the last 3 national championships?
Absolutely. They really for the past decade or so have always been there. I know they've won the past 2, which definitely puts them in that blue blood conversation, and it puts Jay Wright as a for sure Hall of Famer in basketball. But since Jay Wright got there, really, they've been great. I mean, his first 3 years, he missed the tournament. That's why you shouldn't give up on a coach after 3 years without having success, because look what he did now. You have to give them time to build a program. Same with Beilein. His first 3 years at Michigan were not great, and now look at them now. They're a perennial, really good elite type basketball teams. So ADs need to just give their coaches some time.
And I believe Jay Wright is now one of only 3 active Division I coaches that have multiple championships.
Or the other two,
Roy Williams and Coach K. I believe. I could be wrong about that, but I was going through in my head today.
Coach Cal's only won 1. Self's only won 1.
Yep. Boeheim's only won 1.
Boeheim's only won 1.
I mean, there's some others that have been in it a lot, but just haven't. I mean, Beeline's been
Izzo's only won 1.
Yeah, isn't that crazy for how much publicity he gets? I mean, he makes the Final Four a lot, but in Villanova, some of these players have only lost 8 games in the last couple of years from championship to championship. 3 of those to Butler.
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. Butler has their number for whatever reason.
Yeah, they usually have that magic for whatever reason. I don't know, but yeah, overall, really fun tournaments. I mean, the Final Four kind of got a little boring, but for the most part, more upsets than we see. I think the part I had that made me the most frustrated about Michigan making the championship was they didn't really play anybody.
No.
I know that's how it happens sometimes, but it just happens. And if Devin Davis hits a free throw, they're out round 2. But that's how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, the championship game was the first time they played a seed that was higher than they were because they got to play.
They finally got to wear their blue jerseys.
Yeah, Montana, then Houston, and then 7th seed Texas A&M, then Florida State. So they didn't have to face Xavier, Gonzaga, Ohio State, North Carolina. So
yeah,
and then of course they faced Loyola in the Final Four, and they missed out on Virginia, Kentucky.
Loyola was up 10 in the second half at one point in that game. I thought they were going to do it.
I'm kind of glad they didn't. I root for upsets in those first 2 rounds. It's kind of fun, but then after that,
they're ranked in the teens in a lot of the preseason rankings for next year.
That makes me laugh.
I don't know what they got. I don't know enough about them to know what they got returning, what they're losing.
They lose. I think their 3 best players, and one of their players can be a grad transfer who won the Missouri Valley Player of the Year. So wouldn't be surprised if he tries to jump up a level. It's just. I mean, they love stories like that, and that's why I think a lot of people have them ranked going into next year, but I do not think they can replicate it at all.
Purdue got grad transfer this past week.
Yes, they did.
Evan
Boudreaux, I believe.
Yeah, I wasn't sure how to pronounce the last name. He was played at Dartmouth 2 years, averaged about 17 points, 9.5 rebounds, was the Ivy League freshman of the year, but wanted to play an NCAA tournament, which in Ivy League, you can only make the NCAA tournament by winning your conference tourney, so nothing's guaranteed. So he transferred elsewhere. Originally chose Xavier over Colorado and Purdue, but then with Chris Mack taking the Louisville job, he opened it back up. Had offers from a lot of schools, Illinois, Wisconsin, Butler, NC State, Louisville, to name a few. Came in at the end, but for some reason he ended it quick and joined the Purdue squad for next year. So he has 2 years of eligibility remaining.
He's a rare 2-year grad transfer.
It's really rare.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Especially from an Ivy League school.
Yeah. You know he's going to qualify academically. You don't have to worry about that.
Nope. So, he should help Purdue at the 4, I would think, right away. And, I don't want to talk about what I expect next year or anything. It's a little too early. But, the Purdue seniors, a few of them did have more activities. Dakota Mathias was in the 3-point shootout, made the semifinals, but unfortunately didn't make the finals. But Vince Edwards and the Big Ten 3-on-3 team won themselves a nice little $50,000 to split 4 ways. It was him, Robert Johnson, Nate Mason, and Jayshawn Tate.
That's kind of funny. They let them make money.
Oh yeah, now they do. Now that they're done, and so I forget what that equaled out to for each of them, but a nice little payday. So
12-5.
Yeah, so that was kind of fun. I watched a little bit of that. I thought it was a fun little format. It's a lot better than the All-Star games they usually do around Final Four weekend and stuff. So congratulations to Vince, and I don't think I really hit on it enough last week. I just keep realizing how much I'm going to miss the senior class for Purdue, how much they did. They took the team from the bottom of the Big Ten to the top, at least their junior year, and kind of at least put them back on the map, Big Ten speaking. And I'm really going to miss seeing these guys, never seeing Vince Edwards, Isaac Haas, PJ Thompson, or Dakota Mathias ever in a Purdue jersey again. It's just kind of starting to hit me, but that's the beauty of college sports is you learn to love players over their 4 years, or at least most cases for programs, 4 years. You watch them develop, and you get a whole new, fresh group coming in that you like, or in some cases you hate.
It's so much more satisfying watching a freshman class play all 4 years than it is having a new freshman class every year and they just go off to the NBA. You don't get a learn to learn anything about the player.
No, you don't. And I mean, there's pros and cons to liking having an attachment to certain pro teams from years, but usually from year to year, it's going to change so much due to free agency and trades and everything. It's hard to get that same bond because, especially like in the NFL, for example, you might only have a guy for like 8 years of his prime in the window, and in college, most cases you're gonna have them for 4 years.
And especially with that Purdue class, they came in. You guys were dead last in the Big Ten.
Dead last.
And they came in and really changed the culture of the Purdue program and
set a solid foundation going forward. So, I don't expect Purdue, of course, to be as good next year, but I think they can be an NCAA tournament team. If you had to tell me where their seeding would be, I'd say anywhere from a 7 to a 10 seed is my prediction, but could vastly change by November, but we're not going to talk too much college basketball probably going forward till it's basketball season.
Yes.
Because it's baseball season, Josh.
Baseball is underway.
Chicago Cubs baseball's back.
Yes.
Hit on their Cubs a little bit. Played the Marlins and now playing the Redlegs.
They're in a little bit of a struggle to start the year.
Their Twitter hasn't been that bad yet. I want to say.
I told you I'm not going to be jumping off cliffs like I was last year.
It hasn't been that bad. I gotta give
talking down off the ledge because after last year had high expectations again coming in after winning the World Series, and they started off bad and really just played mediocre baseball throughout the whole first half, and I was about ready to give up on them and all that. And then they go on a crazy run in the second half and win the division. So I'm not worried about them at all. They're 2-3 at the moment. Played the worst team in baseball over the weekend. The Marlins were quite pesky. It was kind of annoying. They didn't strike out much. They actually played some pretty good baseball. That's why I hate playing really bad teams early, because that first series of the year, they're fired up. They want to play their best baseball. Still got to beat them. And really, Cubs were lucky they didn't face anybody else because they would have gotten swept. They just didn't play very good the whole series. And then on Monday against the Reds, they lost 1-0. Offense is in a 18-inning scoreless streak, which I was hoping there wouldn't be any of those, but there were quite a bit last year, and there were some in 2016 with this great offense. There's been a couple things that they've really struggled with really ever since 2015 or so. They strike out a ton. Right now, they've struck out 58 times in the first 5 games, which is by far the most in baseball. Of course, they played a 17-inning game, which is essentially 2 games in one, so kind of have to put a little bit of an asterisk by it. Struggled to put the ball in play with guys on third, less than 2 outs. It was a problem last year. Offense will be fine. It's cold right now, and it doesn't seem like the ball's carrying as much as it did last year, so there's been rumors they've kind of been doing a humidifier type thing like they do in Colorado, because last year, everyone set the world on fire with all these homers. It just doesn't seem like the ball's carrying. A couple good things of note so far. Kyle Schwarber still striking out some, but he's looked far better. He's hitting homers. He's making adjustments at the plate. He's making more contact, still striking out some, but he's been a lot better. Addison Russell's been great so far, playing great defense, hitting the ball really well. Chris Bryant's been really good to start the season. Anthony Rizzo's struggling, but he's a notorious slow starter. He'll be fine. He'll go on a hot streak here in a few weeks where you can't get him out at all. Ian Happ started the year with a bang. First pitch of the season.
That was pretty cool.
Hits a bomb. He has, I think, 20 at-bats since, and he struck out 12 of them and has 1 hit, so he's really struggling. Javi Baez has been just awful. Wilson Contreras hasn't been good. The rotation has not been good at all. Lesser was horrible opening day. Then Hendricks came in and was really good on Friday. Yu Darvish, you could tell had a little bit of nerves going on. He gave up 5 and 4 2/3 innings. Jose Quintana was good until about the 6th inning on Sunday, where he ended up giving up 6 runs in 6 innings. Then yesterday, Tyler Chatwood has great stuff, does not have very good control or command. He walked 6 in 6 innings, but only gave up 1 run. Great stuff. It's who he is. He walks a lot of guys, but he can get out of it because of this good stuff. And the one thing that's been their best aspect of the team so far has been their bullpen. They've thrown 25, 27 innings already, and they've only given up 2 or 3 runs. They've just been lights out, and that's only getting literally 2 pitches from Brandon Morrow since the season has started. They've just been really good. Justin Wilson, who looked like he had the yips last year when he came over, couldn't throw strikes. He's been great so far. Getting good contributions from everyone out of the bullpen. Offense will be fine. They get a play tonight if it's not storming down Cincy, which it is at the moment, but hopefully that system will be out of there. John Lester versus Cody Reed. Cody Reed has 3 career starts in his career against the Cubs, and his ERA is over 16. He's pitched 10 innings, given up 7 homers and 18 runs in those 10 innings. So hopefully he'll be the guy that can bust these Cubs out of the slump. They'll be fine. Don't jump off any cliffs.
That's saying something coming from you.
That's saying something coming from me. I feel like I have been better this year. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
But I'm not worried about it.
Might have seen that fist pump I just did.
I did.
Didi Gregorius hit a 3-run home run. Yankees up 4-1. First home run in Yankee Stadium this year.
They got snowed out yesterday.
Yes, they did.
That was crazy.
They did. Got snowed out. And then a lot of people, I didn't really read it too closely, so I don't know what's going on. A lot of people on Kevin Kiermaier's case for wearing Vaseline today.
Vaseline?
Yeah, he covered his body in Vaseline to try to stay warm, and people are all over him
Really?
about it. What the heck's the big deal? Whatever you got to do to stay warm.
It's cold out there.
Not breaking the rules. I mean, is that breaking the rules, putting Vaseline on your body?
I wouldn't think so.
He's not a pitcher.
No. And really, it seems like Vaseline would hurt pitchers because the ball would slip out of your hands.
I mean,
I don't know.
I'm no stupid idiots.
I've also seen a lot of people ripping John Sterling's Giancarlo Stanton.
That was awful. He's the worst.
It wasn't good. I mean, it translated really cool.
Yeah.
Did you see the translation?
Yeah,
I don't remember what it was now that I said it. But
he's so old, he didn't know what he's saying.
It didn't roll off the tongue very well. It was Italian for something like Giancarlo something.
I should have cut it. I should have had it ready. Yeah. I'll cut it for next week. I'll find it and I'll cut it.
Wasn't very good, but
I'll play it next week.
Cool.
I'll play it for everybody next week. But yeah, Giancarlo had 2 home runs in his Yankee debut on Thursday, including a home run in his first plate appearance as a Yankee. So start off well. They split the series against the Blue Jays. Looked good the first 2 days, not so good the next 2. They need to get a few here against the Rays. It's kind of like you were talking about with the Marlins. You play these teams that aren't supposed to be good. You need to get them early. I saw Twitter already overreacting. I don't know who the guy was. He's some national writer. Already wondering if Aaron Boone's a bust. 4 games in. 4 games. Like, calm down. Like, there are some things I don't really like that he does. He sets his lineup so far in advance. He's not really willing to change them unless there's injury. That's just a little different. But I don't know. I'm fine. I'm going to give the guy a chance. I really don't care. Like, I'm going to give him a chance. Yankees have had little injuries already. Aaron Hicks got injured already, 15-day DL. That's why Aaron Judge had to play center in a game the other day. That was scary. Interesting. No, they're fine. They're winning 4-1 right now against the Rays. So, they're off and running. I don't really have too much to say about them. One thing I wanted to bring up to you, I've seen it on other people's Twitters, not just yours, but you do tweet about it the most. And I am in agreement with you. It is time to get robot umpires or some kind of electronic system or something for balls and strikes. Yes. It's getting ridiculous. It's really bad.
Seems like umpires are getting worse, too.
Lazy.
They're just not good. Take into account the, catcher's framing and all that way too much. If you just had a system in place where it was consistent, 100%, you wouldn't have guys arguing balls and strikes. You wouldn't have to kick anybody out. What's the problem with getting calls right? Who cares about the human element? Get calls right. That's the only thing that matters.
Do your job.
Do your job. Yes, time for robot umps and time for the designated hitter in the National League. But that's
You're on board for that?
100%.
Okay, cool.
100%.
I got an argument with somebody at work the other day. I was on board for American League having the pitchers hit. So.
Well, they did until about 73 or so.
Well, we don't know any better.
Yeah. But I want to see offense. I think it'll help get millennials and
I hate that term.
All those people, even younger than us, back into baseball because they say it's declining, but it's not.
Look at the numbers. The MLB and the NBA is way up. NFL is down, but NFL is still over those two just because people like football. But you keep messing with these safety rules, which I get it. They got to make some safety adjustments, but you keep messing with these rules, the NFL's going to keep declining. And yeah, no, MLB's in good shape. It's got like a lot of good, fun, entertaining young players. And then what the NBA's got going for it, it's such a global game. Like, and it's culturally dominated, I'll say.
Yeah, it's a good term.
Yeah, so it's, I don't know.
Instead of worrying about pace of play and pitch clocks and the stupid,
Get the balls and strikes right.
Yeah, get the balls and strikes right. The mound visits, which that hasn't been a problem yet because 6 mound visits is a lot.
Yeah, anyway. That's quite a few.
So, I mean, it hasn't been a problem yet. But get balls and strikes first or right first and worry about everything else later. A couple more baseball notes.
Yep. I was going to ask if you had any more notes.
Gabe Kapler, the manager of the Phillies, is already kind of ruffling some feathers. He embarrassed himself over the weekend. I'll get to that in a little bit. But on Thursday, his number 1 starter, Aaron Nola, took him out after 69 pitches. The bullpen came in, gave up 5 runs, they lose. He did the same thing on Friday, and they ended up I think they ended up winning in extra innings. But then on Saturday, his starter was not pitching very well, had about 70 pitches, and he needed to take him out. But when he got out there, he did not call down to the bullpen to get anyone warming up. So he embarrassed himself because they didn't have anyone warming up. So Braves were real pissed off because they let the guy throw a few in the bullpen, then come in and get his normal 8 warm-up tosses. And I get why the Braves were mad about it because, I mean, he doesn't deserve it. If they don't have anyone warming up.
It's their fault.
Yeah, he doesn't deserve that. But I get where the umpire was coming from because they don't want the guy to get hurt.
Yeah, you don't want that unconscious.
So it's kind of a gray area.
Mm-hmm.
But he kind of does some weird things with his bullpen. And who knows, it might end up working. But at the moment, he's kind of looking like a fool.
Yeah,
and you're kind of looking like a fool for picking them in the wild card, even though it's so.
It's pretty early,
so
bro.
Dang
but
early.
yeah, no, I mean, I look like a fool right now for picking the Rockies.
Messing with you.
But did you see my retweet the other night of Chuck Blackman's
He's
dance?
so freaking weird.
He's
man.
a weird dude with
he's
the
a
mullet,
weirdo.
dancing around. And, oh man, he's something else.
He looks like
good
he's
player,
from
but
Tennessee.
He's
he went to Georgia Tech, if I remember correctly.
Did he really?
Yeah, looks like he went to.
He went to Georgia.
Yeah, he looks like he's from Georgia.
Yeah.
Acts like he's from Georgia.
He's different, but between him and Von Miller, they really like I like to see a dancing competition between those two.
Denver's not really known for being totally normal to begin
No.
with. No.
Denver and Seattle.
They fit in pretty well.
Yeah, they do. Got any other MLB notes?
Not that I
White Sox had a guy hit 3 home runs at opening day. That's like is that the 4th time in their history or something stupid like that?
Maybe the 4th time in the history of baseball. I don't know about that.
Okay.
Maybe 4th time a person's hit 3, but not on opening day.
Okay. I heard something about.
I don't remember the last time a player did it. It might have been Tuffy Rhodes. Tuffy Rhodes with the Cubs, off of Doc Gooden, who was the best pitcher in baseball at the time.
Let me look it up.
He hit 3 homers on opening day in 1993, and you know how many homers he ended up with on the season?
3.
I think he had 10 or so. And then he went to Japan and hit like 45 a year and just crazy in Japan. But yeah, White Sox started off pretty well. They lost their first game of the season on Monday night to the Blue Jays. I think one of their games in Kansas City got rained out because they only played 2, if I remember correctly. But they won those first 2. They really hit the ball hard.
There was one between Tuffy Rhodes and Davidson. George Bell.
George Bell would not.
Oh wait, nope. I'm reading my timeline wrong. No. Dimitri Young.
Dimitri Young. Yes, I remember Dimitri.
Sorry, I left the rest of my timeline.
Was he with the Tigers at the time?
Yeah, against the Royals.
Cool. So the Royals giving up 3 homers on opening day. So
because they did it. Am I reading this right? The Royals have done it 3 times.
That's hilarious.
George Bell was on the Blue Jays.
On opening day. That's crazy.
You're right. Only 4 have done it. So I don't know what I read about the White Sox.
George Bell was traded by the Cubs to the White Sox for Sammy Sosa back in '92, I want to say.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
And the rest is history.
The rest is history. Pirates are 4-0. Don't know where they pulled that out of.
My dad's buddy Sean Shriver will be happy about that.
They'll end up at something like 67 and 95. So enjoy it while
Astros look good
because it won. Yeah, Astros. I was hoping they'd kind of start off slow just to
shut Keuchel
up, but they're really good baseball.
Yeah, they are.
They'll be good again.
Yep. I don't think I have much to add for baseball right now.
I'm sure I'll think of something later. And
I'll just butt right in and get it off your chest. So, NBA season's winding down. Playoffs about ready to start. I'm going to pull up the races on my phone here. I think most of the seeding's kind of getting pretty much set for the most part. But let's see here. Yeah, the Pacers are 5 seed right now.
How many games up on the 6 are they?
They're one behind the 6. Oh, I thought you meant the Sixers. They're one behind the Sixers. They're pretty comfortable ahead of the Wizards.
Okay.
They're 4 games up.
Oh, yeah. So,
they'll probably be playing the Sixers.
Yeah, you don't – I think they can get out of that. You don't want to end up at that 6th spot facing LeBron James.
No. The West is where it's getting interesting. You go at the from the 4 seed is San Antonio. Half game behind them is Oklahoma City for the 5. Half game behind them is Utah for the 6. Half game behind them is the 7 of Minnesota. Half game behind them is New Orleans at 8. A game behind them is the Nuggets. A game behind them is the Clippers.
Wow.
So you have about
it's
6 teams right there battling for it.
The West is wide open. Those last.
Yeah, the only spots clinched are the 1, 2, and 3 seeds in the West, which are the Rockets, the Warriors, and the Blazers. But yeah, it's
seems like the Blazers always outplay their nationally perceptive preseason
this is their 5th straight playoff berth. I didn't realize that.
It seems like every year team or national writers or somebody have them, in the 7, 8 spot or maybe missing the playoffs, and they end up with like the 4, 5, 3. You
just never hear about them because they're out in Portland. I mean.
They have a really good team. I mean, 2 great guards. And
superstar.
Yeah.
And you just don't hear about it. But you got that NHL playoffs should be starting soon. I was saying a week or 2 ago, looks like the Avalanche could be in the playoffs. Well, they're choking hard, so I don't know if they're going to make it. It's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight. It's going to come down to every single point available. But other than that, I don't have any other do I have any other news and notes before we get to the Masters? Any NFL stuff happening?
I know. I can't wrap my head around football until draft, which is in 3 weeks from Thursday.
Yes, 3 weeks from Thursday. Facebook Live, 8 o'clock. We're covering picks 1 through 11.
Sent out some invites on Facebook.
And if you didn't get an invite, just go to our Facebook page. It's on the events right there. Just click interested or going if you plan on watching or might be interested in watching, not actually going because nobody's going to come over for this, but Facebook didn't give me that option.
People show up at your house.
Hey, where's the beer? But no, don't come drink my beer, people. It's not allowed.
That's for me.
But it should be a good time. Looking forward to that. I do have one quick Broncos note. They introduced the new safety, Sua Cravens, yesterday. Really interesting guy. Kind of stepped away from football last year when he got some concussions and decided he didn't want to play anymore. And then he got activated again in December, was allowed to play, but didn't want to play for the Redskins. So they pretty much swapped some draft picks, and the Broncos gave a 5th round pick away for a guy who was selected 2nd 2 years ago in the draft from USC. So they need some depth in the defensive backfield. So we'll see what he can do as long as he can stay healthy, and we'll see if he can be committed to football. So he's saying all the right things, but I mean, Brock Osweiler wins every press conference he's in too. So, but he doesn't win too many football games.
I have a Purdue football note. Purdue special teams coordinator Tony Levine.
Yeah, he resigned a few months ago,
and he opened up a Chick-fil-A restaurant.
Yeah, that article came out yesterday on Sports Illustrated, and it's really gained some national traction. Sounded like his wife had some medical issues too that went in because he was only their special teams coordinator last year, and he was pretty darn good at it. Ran a bunch of fakes.
Was a decent head coach at Houston.
Yeah, it wasn't bad. They thought they were going to lose him to the Rice job this year, but that wasn't the case. And he resigned, so I hate to see him leave, but understand why he did. And, yeah, now he owns a Chick-fil-A, which is a good franchise to own.
The J-Man loves himself some Chick-fil-A.
Oh, I love Chick-fil-A.
I had Chick-fil-A last night for dinner.
Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah, it's a good place. Usually a clean restaurant for fast food. Service usually pretty good. So.
My pleasure. That is their statement.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. Yeah. Nice place for fast food.
It's always packed too. So
yeah, it's good. I mean, it tastes quality.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
That's
a lot of
great.
times you go to fast food and you need to get on the John and 10 minutes later,
Yeah.
but not Chick-fil-A. So
And they get Sundays off. So
yeah, they get Sundays off. No Sunday work for them. Yeah, Purdue spring game Saturday. I'm going down to that, so I'll report next week about the spring game, which nobody will care, but I'll have a report on that. When's the Illinois spring game?
they have an open practice, I think, Saturday.
Oh,
They're not doing a game. They have a lot of guys hurt. They have one scholarship quarterback
yeah.
on the roster.
Don't do a game.
Yeah.
Don't do a game. So I don't think I have any other news and notes before we get in the Masters.
I am going to let you roll with the Masters
But
talk.
I do want to remind you have not done your J-Man's Booker prediction of the week
It's
yet.
going to come during Masters,
Okay,
bro.
I figured. I
should have told you that before.
I just wanted to remind you, just in case you forgot.
Yes.
And the J-Man's Booker prediction of the week is sponsored every week by Travis Watching, and we'll go ahead and play a little message from Travis himself while we're cranking up this Masters talk, because I know you're all just waiting with tons of anticipation. So here's a message from the J-Man's Book It prediction of the week sponsor every week, Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance Agent Travis Watching.
This is Travis Watring with Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. I'm a multi-line agent specializing in life, home, renters, auto, business, workers' compensation, and farm insurance. Please contact me at travis.watring@infb.com or at 219-869-4561.
There you go. Heard it from the man himself.
Yes.
Any insurance needs, contact Travis Watching. And right before we get into it, if you haven't done so already, like us on our social media. Like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Tan and J-Man Show. And follow us on Instagram. Brand new Instagram we just created on Friday. You can follow that at the Tan and J-Man Show. A little different than our Twitter handle. Also, check out our website, thetannandjmanshow.com, where you can listen to past episodes, interviews, all the J-Man's Book It predictions from 2018, and subscribe to our podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or Google Play. And if you do iTunes, I know a lot of you have Apple products, probably a good majority of you. Please give us a rating and review on there. That really helps us out. It helps us move up in the rankings. And while you're at it, if you wouldn't mind, go to our Facebook page, give us a rating and review there. Really helps us out in the long run, and we really appreciate it. Hearing back some feedback back from our listeners. So with that said, J-Man, it's a wonderful time for a golfer. It's a tradition unlike any other. It's Masters week. Masters kicks off on Thursday. Tee times were announced this morning. So let's get right into it, shall we? All right. Some of the featured groups. Of course, everybody wants to know, where's Eldrick Tiger Woods at? Where's he at? He'll be teeing off at 10:42 with Mark Leishman and Tommy Fleetwood. So two guys that quality golfers, but they're not guys who are going to draw attention. It'll be all about Tiger. And I was asked at the Dam Landing over the weekend where I thought Tiger would finish by multiple people. I do not think Tiger will win. I think he will play pretty well and finish inside the top 25. There's my Tiger Woods prediction for you. But if he wins on Sunday, Twitter might break. Honest to God.
You going to say something stupid like me? You're going to go jump in the lake or something if Tiger wins?
I'm not doing that because
That'd be more fun.
He is second overall favorite right now. I think Rory's first now. But no, Tiger, he could win it. He's playing really well. It'll be fun to see what he does this week. He definitely adds that buzz. This is the most anticipated Masters I can remember in years, and he's a large majority of that reason. But I will say this: Tiger finishes top 25. Don't know if he gets all the way up there at any time during the weekend, but he'll be around to make it interesting. You got any thoughts about Tiger?
Nah.
No, nothing.
I got nothing on Tiger.
No prediction where he might finish.
I'm gonna go.
Will he make the cut?
He'll make the cut, and he'll finish in the top 15.
Okay, all right. So. Another really good featured group. He's got three of the better players in the world. Adam Scott, former Masters winner in 2013. Rory McIlroy, one of the top players in the world, looking for his first Masters. It's the only major he hasn't won. And Jon Rahm, rated he's either number 2 or number 3. I think he's the number 3 ranked player in the world. So that's going to be a really good group at 138. And then you got another one, Justin Rose. He was the runner-up the Masters last year to Sergio Garcia in the playoff. He's playing with Dustin Johnson, who was the favorite last year until he fell down the steps at the house he was staying at in the Masters. Couldn't play. And Cabrera Bello, I don't remember his first name off the top of my head. So Rafael Cabrera Bello. There you go. So that's another good tee time that will be going off at 2 o'clock. And let me find a few more for you here. Let's see. Tiger and Phil played a practice round today together, which was interesting. They were giving Phil a lot of grief today because he wore a button-down long-sleeve shirt. I've never seen a player do that on tour on the golf course. It looked like he was just going to work. It was really weird. It was a long-sleeve button-down. But I'm trying to find some other tee times here. I'm really struggling on my site. I do know Ricky Fowler is paired with Phil Mickelson and Matt Kuchar, 3 of the most likable guys on tour. So
Two of the most likable.
Yeah, you're right. You're right, Phil and Ricky. But now Kuchar's known as one of the nicest guys, if not the nicest guy on tour. So they're going off together. I can't find the time. I know it's in the afternoon. It's at 1 something. But a lot of key guys to keep your eyes on this week. Ian Poulter, kind of interesting. He had to win the Houston Open to get into the Masters, and he did it. He's been a PGA Tour player for years, but it was his first stroke play event won in America. Oh. He won 2 match plays, had never won a stroke play on the PGA Tour. He had on the European Tour, and he's well known for the Ryder Cup, but he finally broke through that door and got himself into the Masters. Who are some guys that you think have a good chance at this?
That's a better question to ask yourself.
Ask myself. Well, I ran a Twitter poll and a Facebook poll.
I voted on that one for the middle one. I don't remember what it was on
Twitter. I'm going to look.
Put 3 – what was it, 3 or 4 groups up on
It's
Twitter?
4 because I got which group of players will the winner of the Masters come out of? Will it be Group 1, which has Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, Tiger Woods. Group 2, Jordan Spieth, Justin Rose, Bubba Watson, or Jason Day. Group 3, Phil Mickelson, Ricky Fowler, John Rahm, or Sergio Garcia. Or Group 4, other.
I think I voted Group 2.
Spieth, Rose, Bubba, and Jason Day. There's 15 votes so far. There's a day left, so go vote on Twitter if you want. 73% have voted for the group of Dustin Johnson, Rory McIlroy, Justin Thomas, and Tiger Woods. On Facebook, I just did the first I kind of split the groups up. I did a group of Dustin, Roy, Justin Thomas, and Tiger, and a group of Spieth, Bubba, Phil, and Ricky. I took a few of the other ones out of there. There was, as of this morning, 16 votes, 9 for the group of Spieth, Bubba, Phil, Ricky, 7 for the other group. So, and that one's running actually till next week because Facebook's stupid, and I scheduled it to run it till Thursday, and somehow I changed it to a week. So, and I can't change it back now that it has already been voted on. So, yeah. So, I would look for any of those guys I mentioned in a Twitter poll to be in contention. There's always others that come out of the woods, but there's a lot of storylines here. Tiger returning, Rory looking for his first Masters. Ricky looking for his first major. Phil playing really well, looking for his 4th green jacket. Jordan playing well, even though he's not putting well. Bubba playing well, looking for his 3rd green jacket. Oh, man. I think it's going to be won by one of the lefties, Bubba Watson or Phil Mickelson. Phil's got to get his 4th or Bubba's got to get his 3rd. And I'm going to go with Phil the Thrill. I think Phil Mickelson wins his 4th green jacket.
You say the course sets up really well for lefties,
it does,
right? For
some reason. Doesn't mean they always play well. But Phil's only missed 3 cuts at the Masters in his life. But 2 of those, one was in 2014, one was in 2016. So 2 of them have been more recent. But, I think Phil gets it done.
You're picking Phil.
I hope Ricky Fowler. If Ricky can't do it, I hope Phil does. If Phil can't, then I got a few others. But it looks like J-Man's got a book of predictions.
The J-Man's book is coming. I know you're so anticipatory.
All right.
Dano, hold it a minute. I want to book this one.
The winner of the Masters will be a first-time major winner.
Hey, that's got Fowler in the conversation.
Anyone but anyone but Ricky.
I'll tell you, he imploded hard this weekend. Looked great Thursday and Friday. Was leading. He's either leading or co-leading through 12 holes on Saturday. 13th hole, got 8 on a par 5. He 4-putted from 10 feet.
Yikes.
Then just fell. And he ended up tied for 35th, I think.
Wow.
It wasn't even close. He just lost it. I don't know. But, yep. Yeah, I like that. I could see that.
I don't have a name, so I'm not going to make a prediction.
Well, watch out for John Rahm. He's up there. He's never won one. All the other favorites have won a major. But there's a lot of guys that can do it. That's what's fun about the Masters is all these players are so amped up for it. I'm hoping Ricky, but I'm thinking Phil gets it done. But according to the J-Man, it's going to be a first-timer.
And the winner of the Masters gets to pick a meal, correctly?
They do. They get
correctly. Wow, that was terrible.
Correct.
Correct.
They get to pick a meal for the next year for the Tuesday night. It's the Champions Dinner, and this year's Sergio Garcia. And a good buddy of the show, Aaron Lynch, sends in a lot of questions, usually pertains to golf. He wanted to know what Josh and I would pick for the Masters Champion Dinner if we ever would win the Masters. And he also said he thought Josh would choose the double chicken Whopper.
Yeah, I can't believe he remembers that because I used to joke about getting double chicken Whoppers when we were in like middle school. So good memory there, Aaron.
Here you go, J-Man. Here is what Sergio's having tonight for dinner. Do you have it up on your phone?
No.
You might want to read it up because you might be able to pronounce this stuff a lot better than me.
Did Lynch?
Yeah, it's in the text message.
All I saw was the chicken Whopper.
He's starting off with an international salad, which I think we can both agree that we wouldn't have that on our menu.
I don't mind salads, but yeah. The second one is a traditional Spanish lobster rice. That just sounds disgusting.
It's the arroz caldosa de
Bagavante.
Bagavante.
Arroz caldosa de Bagavante.
And then for dessert,
Ooh, tres leches ice cream and espuma.
and Angela Garcia's tres.
Tres leches cake.
Yeah, there you go.
Served in honor of Mr. Sergio Garcia.
Yep. So he's having a salad, some Spanish lobster rice, and some ice cream cake.
Yeah. What would your meal be?
Oh man. Well,
I've been thinking about it all show, so if it
I've been thinking about it all day.
yeah, if it feels like I haven't been totally with it this week.
You know, Tiger when he won in '97, he was pretty young. Next year, he had burgers, fries, and shakes.
No, that's a pretty dang good meal in my book.
Oh man. Well, let's start off with something. You know, I'm not a salad guy, so I'll do more of like a soup. I'll do some jambalaya, little spicy, little Cajun country. Then for my entree, oh man, Wendy's chicken nuggets. No,
That wouldn't surprise me.
I probably would do some barbecue chicken of some sort. I don't know if it would be fried or grilled. Probably like a grilled barbecue chicken.
Do a fried and grilled hybrid.
Oh yeah, you can do anything down there. Them chefs down there at Augusta. Then for dessert, oh man. See, I like dessert. I like ice cream. I like pie. I like cake. I like pudding. I'd have to do some type of like. It would be some type of ice cream cake, like something I don't even know.
Stuff.
With some chocolate and some caramel in it.
Yeah, my meal.
He's pumped. You should see the look on his face.
First I'd do like some bread, some like biscuits, like biscuity breadness.
What?
with
Biscuity breadness.
with like some cinnamon butter or something. That sounds good.
Okay.
Then I'd do like a 32-ounce porterhouse or something like that. Be delicious. And then for dessert, when I was in Madison, Wisconsin, I had this dessert. It blew my mind how good it was. It was a maple bacon root beer float. There were chunks of maple bacon in the ice cream, and it was with root beer. And it was the best ice cream I've ever eaten, and that would be my dessert.
That sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
Too bad you're not a good golfer and will never get invited to the Masters and win.
You don't know that. You don't say that.
You can make your own Masters dinner at home, I guess.
I might have to go to the grocery store and get myself a porterhouse.
I could tell in your face that was one of your most favorite segments you ever done on the podcast.
By far.
You got really excited.
I wasn't hungry before.
Oh, I'm starving.
Now
My stomach's
I'm
growling.
really hungry.
My stomach's telling me to wrap this thing up so I can go get some dinner. So, got anything else? It doesn't have to be Masters related. Anything else that any baseball knows pop in your head? Anything?
I don't know if the Cubs are going to play tonight. Doppler's not looking great. But.
Not looking good. So, all right. With that said,
birdie bogey time.
birdie bogey time.
First question. I'll let you answer the first question first, and then I'll give you the second question. Who has finished runner-up at the Masters the most without winning?
Tom Kite?
Who?
Tom Kite?
His name's Tom Weiskopf.
Wow, I would have never got that. Tom Kite's got to be up there.
Tom Kite was A. So it was an A, B, and C, and he was A. Johnny Miller was B, but Tom Weiskopf
I hate
was
Johnny
C.
Miller with a passion.
And C, I hope I read the thing right because it gave the answers. And number 13, which was question 13, was
Johnny
C.
Miller is literally in the top 5 people I'd want to punch in the face more than anybody in the world. I hate that guy.
Who won the first Masters?
Oh, God. I'm saying this just because he founded the course. Bobby Jones?
No.
I'm over 2.
Horton here's a who Smith. Horton Smith.
Sounds Canadian or something.
Yeah, they were tough. I'd never heard of the guys.
Well,
So have you ever heard of Tom Weiskopf?
yeah, but I don't know much about him. So, all right. Well, good one, J-Man. I got 2 bogeys. With that said, that'll do it for episode 72 of the Tan and J-Man Show. Sponsored by Fraunfelder Dental Clinic. Great, locally owned dental clinic, family-owned dental clinic. Go see them for all of your dental needs. Follow us on Facebook or like us on Facebook. Follow us on Twitter at Tan and J-Man Show. Follow us on our new Instagram account at the Tan and J-Man Show.
We hope to put some videos.
Look for some videos come. There might even be a video of some audio snippet from the night talking about Masters dinner. So look for that. Subscribe to our podcast on SoundCloud, iTunes, TuneIn Radio, or Google Play. And please give us a rating and review on iTunes or Facebook. That really helps us out, especially on iTunes. Helps us move up in the rankings of podcasts. And lastly, check out our website, thetanandjmanshow.com. You can see all or listen to all of Josh's J-Man bucket prediction of the week from 2018. Listen to past episodes and interviews. And we're really hoping to get some interviews going. I kind of promised that 2018. We haven't. I think we've only had one. So hoping to get more of those. But with that said, we'll see you on our original night next week, next Monday, for episode 73 of Rochester's #1 podcast, the Tan and